G'day mate, welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Roo and welcome back to another Euro 2024 fantasy video. So in today's video, me going through my latest draft. So I haven't built a draft already, but this one's completely different. We've had some more news, we've got some more information. So this is probably going to be a bit closer to a draft that I do start the tournament with. Before we do get into that, I just wanted to ask, if you do watch the channel, please make sure you do subscribe. It does help me out a lot and I do really appreciate it. And smash a like on this video as well, as that does help the algorithm and help, I guess, more people see this video. First of all though, I just want to go through kind of my chip strategy because I think it's important to, I guess, determine the players I'm picking. So I will be wildcarding in Matchday 2 and limitless in Matchday 3. So this means I'm only building this draft for one match day. So the fixtures are crucial to this. Germany have Scotland, Spain, Croatia, Poland, Netherlands, Serbia, England, Belgium, Slovakia, Turkey, Georgia, Hungary, Switzerland, Italy, Albania, Slovenia, Denmark, Romania, Ukraine, Austria, France, and Portugal, Czechia. So this is definitely crucial. Some of the key, I guess, highlights of these fixtures are Germany, Scotland, Netherlands has got a good fixture, England have got a good fixture, France have got a good fixture. So they're kind of the main players I want to target. Also Portugal as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
So we'll start off in goal. First of all, I wanted to talk about Jordan Pickford. So I didn't have him in my original draft because I went for Maguire, but I think now better kind of defenders have emerged. So I've decided to go for Jordan Pickford. He comes in at 5 million, and obviously England do play Serbia in that match day one, which is all we need to think about. Obviously, those of you that do play other fantasy games will know how good Jordan Pickford is. He's kept 13 clean sheets in the Premier League last season and started every single game. He also made 121 saves, which is ridiculous. And for me, I think England normally do very well defensively in tournaments. To be honest though, I do think this tournament could be different. I think with the amount of defensive options not looking great for England, with the amount of injuries there are, with the quality there is defensively, it could lead to Southgate being a little bit more attacking. However, I think even if that's the case, I think they're still going to try and be solid, try and control the game. And then I think Pickford's going to make loads of saves anyway. So for me, Pickford, I think at 5 million is a nice option to go for. Also, I've also got Verbruggen, so another Premier League goalkeeper. He is the Dutch goalkeeper. Not so great in terms of clean sheets last season in the Premier League. Started 21 games, he got 4 clean sheets. Also for him, he's not actually guaranteed to start. So he played 4 matches for the Netherlands in qualifying, and Flekken, who's the Brentford goalkeeper, played the rest of them. So it is not ideal, to be honest, but I think if he does start, he can be a nice option to go for at 4.5 million. I think the Netherlands defensively are very solid. They got Poland in their first game as well, which is a good fixture. And like I said, their defence is very solid. They've got Van Dijk, De Ligt, Ake, Daley Blind maybe on the left. They've got Dumfries or Frimpong on the right. They've got Van der Ven on the bench if they need him. So they've got very solid defensive players. And I think them playing 5 at the back will mean that they do keep a few clean sheets. And I think that Poland fixture is the perfect one for them. Also, if he doesn't play, then it is Flekken, I'll just get Flekken instead. So it's not really a big deal in terms of goalkeeper. Ideally, I'd like to spend less, and there are a few players that are less that I could have gone for, like Lunin. But for me, I think it's worth the money. Having goalkeepers that can keep maybe 2 clean sheets in the group stage, even though I don't need them to, I just need them for one fixture. I think it's worth going for the extra money, to be totally honest with you. Let's get on to the defenders. So next we'll move on to the defence. So very strong defence, to be honest. I have picked a strong defence, and I think it's worth it in this game with the ball recovery points able to be scored, and with the amount of attacking defenders there actually are. First up, I want to talk about Mittelstadt, so the German left back. There is some talk that it's 50-50 whether he'll play or not, but I think he will start. Last season in the Bundesliga for Stuttgart, he ended up getting 2 goals and 4 assists in 31 matches, which was pretty good. He is pretty attacking, but the main reason I've got him in the team is he plays Scotland the first game and he's only 4 million. So a very cheap option into that German defence. And Germany are always known to kind of be strong defensively. And then being at home, I think he can be a nice option to go for at 4 million. Obviously, if he doesn't play, we'll take him out, but we'll come to that when it happens. And yeah, we'll see what we can do. Next up, I've got DeMarco. So the Italian fullback. I think he will play left back as well, just like Mittelstadt. Last season for Inter, 5 goals, 6 assists in 30 matches, which is very good. One of his best kind of attacking return seasons. He is definitely going to start. He's a very attacking player. He's got, like I said, 11 returns in the league for Inter. He comes in at 5 million, so a little bit more expensive, but still pretty cheap. And Italy have their easiest game with the group stage. They play Albania. The other 2 are against Spain and Croatia. So if you do want to jump on Italy assets, this is the time to do it against Albania. And obviously they're the holders as well. So obviously we didn't see them at the World Cup because they didn't qualify, but they did win Euro 2021. It was meant to be 2020, but obviously COVID. So definitely something to take into consideration. I think Italy always good defensively. And I think someone like DeMarco that he can get forward as well is a very good option to go for. Next up, we've got Virgil van Dijk, so familiar face. He's actually 6 million in this game and he's got Poland in Matchday 1. So Van Dijk, yes, we know, like I said, I personally think Netherlands are going to be solid this tournament. And we know Van Dijk is a solid defender. But it's come out that he potentially could be on penalties, which is an absolute game changer. Considering for Liverpool, he wasn't that attacking. He got 2 goals, 2 assists in the Premier League last season. And for Holland in the qualifiers, for Netherlands in the qualifiers, he got 1 goal. So he's not mad attacking, but obviously we know he can get on the under things. But if he does have that penalty, if Van Dijk's on penalties, that is that is game changer. And for 6 million, with the fact that I do think Netherlands will be good defensively, I think he's a must-have, to be totally honest with you. Next up, we've got Wout Thijs, so the Leicester defender. He actually comes in at only 4 million as well, so another very cheap option to go for. He has Slovakia first game, he plays for Belgium, and there is talk again, he's not guaranteed to start, but I think he will start. He's had a pretty good season for Leicester this year. They've obviously got promoted. He's got 2 goals as well, but obviously the Championship, they do play 43 games, so he does get that extra few games. And he did play every game in qualifying, and he got 1 assist. So he's going to start, I feel like, and don't expect too many attacking returns, but he is only 4 million. So for me, at that price, I think it's a no-brainer. And last but not least, probably the most exciting player in this defensive lineup, it is Theo Hernandez, the French wing-back. So he's going to play left-back as well. I've got a lot of left-backs in this team. He is very attacking. 5 goals, 4 assists for Milan last season. For France, he's not that attacking, but in the World Cup, on their way to the final, he did get a goal and 2 assists, which is still pretty good. And then you do fancy him to get a goal in most tournaments. But like I said, he is a little bit more expensive than everyone but Van Dijk. He is 5.5 million, but Austria for France in the first game could be a very nice game for him. Assists, a goal potentially, and yeah, that is it. Overall, again, I had Maguire in this team previously, but I went for Pickford instead. You could argue maybe you're better off with Maguire and maybe swap out DeMarco and get someone like maybe Vicario if he starts, but I think it's going to be the other Italy goalkeeper who my mind has gone blank over what his name is, but Donnarumma. You could go for someone like him, but for me, I think it's better to go for Pickford and keep that spot for a more attacking wing-back sort of defenders, and that's why I've gone for Mittelstadt, DeMarco, Van Dijk, who could be on penalties, Fires, who's very cheap, and Theo Hernandez, who's very attacking. Let's move on to the midfield. So next up, we've got the midfield. So something a bit different with this midfield. So obviously, I've mentioned this before, but they do get points for ball recovery. So it does increase the, I guess, popularity of defensive midfielders, because obviously they're going to be making a lot of ball recoveries. But first of all, we've got an attacking midfielder, we've got a winger, we've got Bukayo Saka, a player that got 16 goals, 9 assists in the Premier League last season, and even for England in qualifying, he got 4 goals, 2 assists in only 7 matches. So, yeah, Saka turns up at these games. He turns up internationally for England. He got 3 goals at the World Cup, and he only played 4 matches, obviously, because England got knocked out at the round of 16. Even in the qualifiers for the World Cup, he got 3 goals. So he does do the business at these international tournaments. He does come in at 0.5 cheaper than Foden and Bellingham. So he's 8.5 million. Obviously, like I said, England have Serbia the first game, which is, I think, a very good game for them. And I think Saka definitely has that right wing spot on lock. I don't really fancy Bellingham or Foden. I think Bellingham will play deeper. I know a lot of people think he'll play number 10, but I just can't see it with the amount of number 10s England do have in terms of Foden, Maddison, Palmer. I don't think they're going to need to play Bellingham number 10, where they're lacking that deeper midfield spot next to Rice. So I think Foden will play there. So that kind of rules him out for me. Foden could be an option, but I'm a bit worried he could be playing off the left. And maybe someone like Palmer through the middle, or maybe vice versa. So I won't go for Foden. And to be honest, Foden hasn't really done it for England. We know Saka does do it for England. He's done it for him in many tournaments, and that's why I've got him in the team. Next up is Florian Wirtz, who's had what a season he's had. Honestly, he plays for Bayer Leverkusen, so he's only lost 1 game this whole season. In the Bundesliga, he's got 11 goals, 11 assists. He is a number 10. He's ridiculous, to be honest. He's such a good player. And I think he's going to light up this tournament. And they've got Scotland, and obviously they're at home as well. It's in Germany, and they've got Scotland the first game. And he comes in at 7.5 million. So I think a little bit cheaper than someone like Musiala, who's 8.5, and then Havertz is 7.5 as well. So he's in that, I guess, second sort of high price point. Musiala is obviously a great footballer, but I think Wirtz just edges it for me. I think he's going to be a bit more creative, and I think coming off the back of a whole season where he's only lost once, I honestly do think that he's going to light up this tournament, and I think Germany will do well, especially as they're at home. Next up, we've got a player that we don't really see in fantasy games. We've got a defensive midfielder, and we've got Rodri, so the Man City defensive midfielder. He's got Croatia the first game. Spain have got Croatia, so it's not the easiest game. But at 6.5 million, I've heard he's on pens as well. Obviously, his ball recoveries is going to be up there, especially playing against Croatia, who are a strong attacking team. Modric in the middle. It's going to be a midfield battle. Kovacic, and Spain have obviously got Rodri there. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game for him. The fact that he's really upped his levels as well in terms of attacking output for Man City this season just plays into that. 8 goals, 9 assists in the league for them, which is very, very good for a defensive midfielder. Yes, for Spain, he hasn't done it, to be honest. He hasn't, in terms of qualifying and tournaments, he's only got 1 assist. But the ball recoveries, the fact that he could be on penalties, for me, that's enough. That's enough to put in Rodri at 6.5 million. Next up, we've got Granit Xhaka. So a player that is the same as Wirtz, another Bayer Leverkusen player, has only lost 1 game all season. Might not seem like a good option because he as well is a defensive midfielder for his club. But ball recoveries look very, very great. And he does play a lot more attacking for Switzerland. For example, in the Euro qualifiers, he got 2 goals, 2 assists. Also in the Euros before, he's got an assist. In the World Cup qualifiers before, he's got a couple goals. So he does pop up with a goal, and he does play much more attacking for Switzerland. And at 6 million with Hungary in the first game, I think he's a nice place to go for, and especially for the ball recoveries as well. Even though he's a bit more attacking, he still obviously does tackle. And yeah, for me, Switzerland are going to do well this tournament. They always do pretty well, but I think they're gonna I guess put on a bit of a show. I don't think they're going to win it, but I think they're going to do okay. Next up, we've got Hakan Çalhanoğlu. So the Turkish player that, to be honest, is a dead ball specialist, which is the main reason why I got him. He's at 6.5 million, but another reason is they've got Georgia as well in Matchday 1, which is one of the lowest ranked teams. And if Turkey do want to qualify, they're going to have to beat Georgia, and potentially beat Georgia comfortably to get some goal difference. 13 goals, 3 assists for him for Inter in the league last season. For Turkey, in qualifying, he didn't really do it. He played 7 matches and got no goals, no assists, which is a little bit worrying. But to be honest, in the World Cup qualifying before that, he did get 3 goals, 5 assists. So he has done it for Turkey. He just hasn't done it recently. And I think the fact that he's come off a good season for Inter, where he's got a few goals, got a few assists, his set pieces are ridiculous. Yeah, I really do like him, and especially for that Georgia game, I think that could be a high-scoring game for him and for Turkey. Overall, though, pretty happy with the midfield. There is a bit of doubt in Xhaka and Rodri. They don't feel right with me to have defensive players in there, but I do know the fact that this game does reward defensive players in terms of ball recoveries, and the fact they are more attacking for their country, then for me, I am happy with them. But other than that, yeah, really, really solid midfield. Last but not least, we've got the forwards. So I guess the forwards haven't changed at all. It's Lukaku, Kane and Mbappe. We will talk about Lukaku first. So the cheapest of the 3 comes in at 9 million, has Slovakia the first game. And for me, yes, there's a lot of banter about Lukaku, but he is still a very good striker. 13 goals, 3 assists in the league for Roma last season, which is not great. But for Belgium, he does the business. In qualifying, 14 goals, 1 assist, and he only played 8 matches. It's ridiculous return. It's near enough a goal every 2 games, near enough an attacking return every games. 2 attacking returns every game. So yeah, for me, ridiculous, and there's no way I'm not having him in this team. He delivers for Belgium. Let's forget about the banter Lukaku, the Man United Lukaku, the Chelsea Lukaku that done that interview. He's still at Chelsea technically, but for Belgium, he is a goal scorer, and having De Bruyne behind him, having Trossard behind him, yeah, I think he's going to do the business in this tournament. And talking about doing the business, next up we've got Harry Kane. So previous World Cup Golden Boot winner, 11 million he comes in at. He plays Serbia first game. And for me, having a striker that is you're able to pick this player who has scored the most goals in Europe this season. He's won the European Golden Ball, or whatever it's called, Golden Boot. He's got 36 goals just in the Bundesliga. There's no way you can't have him in your team, and it is Harry Kane. He is ridiculous. For England, he's ridiculous as well. In the qualifiers, he got 8 goals, 2 assists. In the World Cup, he got 2 goals, 3 assists. In the Euros in 2021, he got 4 goals. And obviously, he won the Golden Boot in 2018 with 6 goals in the World Cup. So he does it at tournaments. He does it everywhere he goes, to be honest. Maybe he doesn't win trophies, but he scores goals. And for me, that's what I want in the team. And potentially, this could be an even better tournament for Harry Kane. Previous tournaments, he's had Sterling, Saka as the kind of creative players. Now he's got Bellingham, he's got Foden, he's got Palmer, he's got obviously still got Saka. So for me, this is going to be on the plate for Harry Kane, and I think he's going to score a hatful of goals. And for me, I want to own him for every single match day, to be totally honest with you. And another player that comes into that is Kylian Mbappe. He's also 11 million. He has Austria the first game. And Mbappe this season has looked good for PSG. 29 matches he's played in the league, 27 goals, 7 assists. But it's for France that he does deliver the most. Yes, he delivers for PSG, but at the highest level, he does it for France as well, which is the main thing. 9 goals, 5 assists in qualifying. In the World Cup, he got 8 goals, 2 assists. Obviously, that hat-trick in the final, which is what everyone remembers him for. And yeah, he does it at tournaments. At the last Euros, obviously France didn't look that great. They only played 4 matches and he only got 1 assist. But for me, they've showed that in the World Cup that they're still the team to be beaten. And I think France are going to go far, and I think Mbappe is going to go far. And I think to have him throughout the tournament, I think is essential. Even that Netherlands game in Matchday 2, but for me against Austria, it is a must-have. And this is the front 3 that I think everyone should be going with. Let me know what you think of my draft. What would you rate it out of 10? Just leave a number below. And yeah, and if you have any questions about your draft, I'll be happy to answer them. Just drop them in the comment section below. I'll be in the comments. I'll reply. I reply normally within a couple hours if I'm not obviously sleeping because I'm in Australia. But yeah, just leave a comment in the comment section below. I'll jump in and answer any questions. If you have liked this video, smash a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Yeah, like I said, it does help me out a lot. I do really appreciate it. So anyone that is watching that hasn't subscribed, please make sure you do subscribe. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.